Hey, I had to take this outside today. I'm over here. I'm at work. That's why I'm wearing this tie right here. Um, anyway, sixman.com. And the more I'm around young people, young, whether it's young adults or teens, the more I realize, man, it is hard to be who you are. What do I mean? There's not as much of a payoff for just being who you are. Most of the time, who you are, um, it's not that it's boring, but it's a lot easier to exist in a culture. And when I'm working with a lot of young people, I notice that the way they talk, um, their unwillingness to be positive sometimes, their fixation on superiority and comparative living um, is is like a huge hindrance to them being themselves. And many of them, part of the problem is that when you're young, you don't even really, maybe you don't even know who you are. And what is young anyway, right? When somebody watching this who's 70 years old is saying, I'm young. Anyway, uh, I think identity is one of the key things when you talk about character that is is kind of nebulous. Not because it really is nebulous, but I think because it's difficult to accept your identity oftentimes. I mean, if your identity is that you were created to do honest things, that you were meant to show up to work and work hard, even if it's not a job you like. Um, if it's in, well, let's go the other direction. Let's say that it's in you. You have a propensity toward doing negative things, being lazy, shirking responsibility, procrastinating. Everybody's done the term paper not 6 hours, maybe an hour before it was due. I've done that. Some people aren't procrastinators, but you can insert any character quality you want and attach it to your identity. And it's probably difficult to be whatever that is because when you accept your identity, um, it assumes that you will do things without a stimulus. It assumes that there are certain things about your nature. Um, like for me, I naturally I'm not really prone to when I was growing up, I wasn't the type of person to be concerned about dressing better than everybody else. I wanted Air Jordans, but kind of knew that we couldn't afford them, so I didn't ask for them. You know what I mean? But there were kids at school who had all the nicest clothes, and even today, it's kind of funny. You can be 35 years old and notice that people still kind of behave like children. We still look at what other people wear, even in some of the more respected circles of like church and respectability. People are always comparing their lives. How many kids do you have? How many dogs do you have? Where do you vacation? And it's nonsense. I often wonder if it's that way in other parts of the world. I've been to some places and I can't really say if it's different or not. But I think identity and being who you are is tough because the payoff is not the same. The payoff is immediate if you can compare yourself to someone else and find that you're superior to them. You know what I mean? If you're taller, stronger, faster, if you have more money or more what you would perceive to be more intellect. I'm often amused by the fact that people like me majored in English while other people majored in fields of study that are helping them to amass great wealth these days. But being who you are is who you are. You know what I mean? If you love to write, if that's your identity, like it's mine, I do love writing. I don't know if I'm good at it, but it's something I do a lot. It took years to accept that truth, though. To accept that maybe you're an academic or maybe that you love art, and to actually um, engage and indulge that love you have for art. That kind of stuff is valuable, but it's very difficult. And I think the point of this message, as this train comes, you can hear the whistle in the background. Y'all bear with me because it's about to get real loud. But I think the point of my message today is just that you would understand your true identity and understand that that identity doesn't include destructive things. No one was born to be a gang member, and nobody was born to be addicted to drugs and have the kind of fun that destroys a life before 40 yeyears old. No one's built to do that. You are built, and your identity is important because it's how you're outfitted. You've been created that way. Let's pause for the train whistle. Awesome. But you're created for a very specific identity, and that identity has a way of impacting the world around you when you express it, when you share it with other people. Um, I find that in the classroom as a teacher, that kids became comfortable with their identities because they saw I was comfortable with mine. So that's what I want to talk. That's all I have to say today. Whether it's worth anything to you or not remains to be decide it. You guys have a good day. Play your six man.